do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Staying ranch, my bad. Oof. Test 1, 2. Check my thingy. Yep, that's on. And okay, how does that sound? Okay, that sounds pretty good. Cool. Yep. We all here. Okay. So shit and stuff. Okay, make sure we get our items. So you don't tell them what stuff it'll cost on Linegus. Really? Okay. And we're just gonna share the straight. No tiki talk. There's no time for that. And boom. All right, we are live. Therefore, what's up, folks? Tyrant Games back with some more Tales of Arise. I was gonna play some more without y'all, but I was like, nah, I guess I'll play it for y'all. Especially for a crucial moment like this. We finna fly high. No lie. And let me let you know this. Bowling. I'm old. Since it's a serious moment,
it's the moment of truth.
I decided to take all this stuff off.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
What?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
Of course.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
I feel like this is a vacation or
Not
something.
sure I'm completely convinced, but, well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegus and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
Let's get to the point. I don't personally have to fly this, right? Okay, not bad. He dusted it off and everything. Well, who's flying this? Yeah, that's a clip moment right there. And then it just crashes. I think it's Dohaline that's flying it.
You know, can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there.
You're not gonna find a good spot to hide it.
Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
I'll talk to them later. There's a relationship right there. It's not that big. I think it's this. Okay. We'll find people that can give us items and shops and stuff. Or all those toilets, actually. The question would remain. Okay, those are the sleep chambers. You must have been a part of.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
Rena time.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean you were inside for 300 years?
That is crazy.
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
Yeah, they probably been
What do
bone
you
dry
mean?
by the time
With
he
the
woke
amount
up.
of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that.
I mean, it's pretty much what y'all been
And
doing
the
all
one
of them.
who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this
Almost
forest
sounds like a
just yet.
confession.
You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of
She
myself,
going
huh?
in shield first.
Let's take things one step at a time.
Interesting. Interesting. This is like a cafe area or something. So talk to y'all too.
Hey, Alvin, listen to this. So Law and I were just talking, and
But y'all thing now?
Shut up!
Y'all thing now?
What's got Law all flustered?
only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby.
Of course.
And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
I mean, he ain't wrong.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys.
Boys and girls, I tell you.
I'm no
boys
expert,
and
but
girls.
I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good
It
point.
also puts you to sleep for
If
300
you think
years.
so, Alvin, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alvin. It's just wrong, okay?
Yeah, I'll be alright.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
7 years did you?
You mean
came
since
from
you became a
Lennox?
lord and left Lennox? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though. You too have a history with Lennox. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
That's
Well,
interesting, though.
It is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
Okay. And how do you feel now? You feel
We'll be
like
going
that?
to Lennox soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lennox like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched, helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse.
Like I said, these things would have been fine to know a couple of
Is it
chapters
any
ago.
wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived,
got a music
but
group
with
for
the
you.
knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you
Alfred,
crazy?
you're the only one saying that.
Why
not
would you
everybody.
sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include
Trade the
saving each
entire
other
universe
as
so
well.
she can be lonely.
A world
Hell
free
no.
of sacrifice.
I got a game to play.
That's what you've been fighting for
This is
all
my
along, isn't it?
entertainment. I don't need everybody to die.
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we
Yeah, I'm
can
gonna
pull
play
it off.
Shion in an
We have
empty
to.
void
It's the
of
only hope we have of things
nothingness.
ever changing.
She gonna do nothing,
Yeah.
just sit there.
You're right. No one's ever changed the future
And just be
without
depressed
aiming
for
for
the
the
rest of the game.
stars.
We can't have that.
We can do this. Together.
I think that's why, just a little side note, but I think this is why I love like RPGs and stuff like that, that challenge fate and challenge destiny and stuff like that. Which is usually, 90 to 90, if not all of them. If you think about it when it comes to story. But just being able to challenge fate and seeing how it folds in different ways, it's just always been such an appeal with playing RPGs, and just why I love it. Maybe not everyone.
Is
of
everyone
that
about
play,
ready?
But
We'll soon be making preparations to land.
just the
Before we
idea.
do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Gunfire.
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegus.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegus was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana.
Okay.
Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist.
The stronger your
As a
arts, the
result,
higher your
family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danon. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
I mean, it wasn't like that
Fair
at the
point.
beginning, though.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
I know, right?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
A boy and a girl.
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
I can't wait to
So
get to
this
your
red
backstory.
woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegus?
I would wager so. Lenegus is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Legion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
What?
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
I feel like I will die for this one. I'm ready. Just wait a couple of chapters. Let me get past this plot first, and then you do what you need to do. But alright then. Oh, we're alive.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegus's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
Lord.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
Yeah, we're gonna fight everybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Lead the way.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegus would have required
She's
an
part of
immense
the
source
crew.
of power.
I want her here. I know
And you
she's
think
already
that
had her
source
revenge
might have
and
been the
everything,
Renis
but
Alma?
she's ready to see this to the end.
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more,
Especially when now they have the Rena Alma
then
again.
the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble.
I'm sure
In
none
which
of them.
case,
I'm
It
sure none
stands
of
to
them really
reason
want
we
to
should be
fight.
looking somewhere normally out of bounds.
Plot got a
Is
plot.
that it?
indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
Oh, hey, what's up, Alvin?
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Or heck, or even you with your maiden powers.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Alright.
Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
Who the flip knows? What's on my team, anyways? Okay, that's good for now.
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
Thank you, Shion.
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zoogles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
Zoogles.
There's Zoogles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Could have just said that. Alright. Let's see what happens. Well, Alpha, you're gonna be busy. You got some more liberating to do. The Zoogie man, shut up, forward. Get out of here.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The
Who's
very
your interior
foundations of the
designer?
city have shifted. What could have caused this?
Oh, it's not
When
supposed to look
Lennigus
like this?
changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Dang. Well, backstory beginning.
I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people?
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana then?
Heard what?
What?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
So they don't know what's going on?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
My boy.
Very well.
Have you been living
Looks
out in the
like we'll have to
streets?
find the way there ourselves.
What the heck?
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
Dang.
I've no doubt that.
He's ready. You gotta take that walk, man.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Doe?
Oh, you can get stuck in his head again. Just don't fight us. We don't want to fight you again.
So who's Faria?
Well, of course you're gonna ask.
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lennigus are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danans poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lennigus has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
We shall act like slaves and just go with you, even though that was a robot. I do
Danans
not
among us
care.
should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
I mean,
What could be so
Law, you have a wolf
important?
thingy on your
It's
shoulder.
worth destroying
Well, not in this
people's
costume, but
livelihoods and
normally.
homes in the process. It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
We don't have time to stop and chat, but we need to stop and chat to figure out what a Forbidden Zone is. Gotta love some dialogue choices.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this.
That's a
But
good
then,
observation.
if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration to avoid all this chaos.
They don't care.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry, that probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
The residential core is falling apart. How big we talking? Okay. Not too bad. Oh, that's what I keep hearing. I'm like, I kept hearing this sound like, what's going on? She's healing though. Hey, old man.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know.
Xehanort.
We have no choice
Let
but
him
to
so
grin
go.
and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot
You know your
divulge.
eyesight is going.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
They really don't know what's going down there.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
That is so crazy. These people just been living their lives like, oh, crown contest. Yeah, I heard about that. You know, I got all my money set on that big bald-headed brute. The one, who's supposed to be in the fire realm. Like, these people don't know. All of them dead. The communications is down too. What y'all got up here? Okay, strawberries. Rena strawberries. Do they give me extra limbs when I eat them? Where's that dang solver? Huh. Well, since I'm here, I might as well. Let's see, such potent healing arts. Dang, give me a recipe. I'll take that.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
You are alive? Shoot, you have better healing arts than she do. But then you're more of a fighter, though, so.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Oh, shoot. Where, Lord,
Sorry
was
to
you looking for?
interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
Oh, y'all can't see. I was
Red,
looking
eh?
at Rena.
No, I can't say I
remember that,
remember anyone like that.
What's
I
her name?
imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Renwell.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
She's always me money.
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
Yeah. It's so crazy. These people are just. I mean, yeah, they got their own stuff to deal with, but it's just like none of you suckers know what's going on. Before we talk to you, more healing over here. Sheesh. I'm on that one dude said he couldn't even find his own house. Like, goodness.
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
He's popular. I'm surprised everybody don't just stop healing
Well,
themselves and
we've canvassed the
just
city for information.
like,
What do you think?
Lord Dohalim.
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep.
Yeesh.
Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan.
Have they even seen this
There is
Sovereign?
one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Yeah, he
Without
is a smooth
the lords
talker.
or
Don't get me
anyone in the
wrong.
middle doing his
You
dirty
know how to
work?
finesse them words.
Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over.
It's probably
I would
part
have
of the
thought
reason why he
ruling
became a
Lenegis alone
lord.
would be difficult enough.
Besides his
The points you make are
noble
valid.
lineage.
Though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at,
Whoa, whoa,
Dogali?
whoa, 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 what?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Right?
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Right.
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent.
I mean, because that was
As for
Volron,
how
though.
Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced
Don't
to.
have it on the English.
Me, at Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Yeah, because he
Do you
was...
think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganeth Haros.
Yeah, that's like a disappear when the Red
Is a
Woman
new
came.
ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you?
I mean, it has
The
to be the
ceremony
case.
can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
That's
If
so
the Forbidden
true.
Zone really is off limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
I thought
One of the
that's where we was
citizens
already about to
mentioned a
go.
passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it.
She's been right here listening to our whole conversation. Anyways. That's
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
interesting. I'm not surprised
And
about
yet,
that, though.
weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sounds about slavery to
Even
me.
so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
I'm with that.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
It's called being
I do.
smooth.
It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it. How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Why are you curious?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Oh my
Hey!
gosh.
What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Alright, that actually got a laugh out of me. I'm sorry.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I thought they would want to do much. I think the only possible person that could want to do something, especially if it were to help with their own gain, would be Ganabelt. But I definitely don't see Balsef, Almadria doing anything to really help this situation. Or Volrun.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsef, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volrun. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we?
Yeah, we came up in their place and like walked power with tap, you know?
To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Oh, it's just a side quest. Sure, I want to learn more about the lords. Probably not Almadria though. We'll just, well, we're going to start here. I might end up having to run back this way anyways, so. Let's save it real quick, because we went through a lot of cutscenes. She's almost an hour. Alright, who do you support? I'm with His Excellency. El Erwoze Tel Dillis? Like who? Be the crescent man. Yeah, she's always been bashing. Can't wait to hear that. She's like, I could definitely see them be like, oh, she was the nicest person around here. Like, what planet are you living on? Oh, right, you living on Lenegis.
Yes! Yes!
Interesting.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
I suppose. Oh, Dolan has a fan here. So again, this whole place seems to be fans of his. Yeah, Lee.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Dang. Right, who are you for? Valkyr's Ganabel.
What?
Huh? I'll make it. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
I think because you pushed him really hard. I think that's why. Well, there's nobody else here. Maybe there's people in the next zone. Ain't nobody said nothing about Almatria. Maybe she really was crazy. It had no supporters. Oh yeah, we got a couple more people.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed, the effects of Lenegis's transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Yeah. Who are you for?
Pardon me.
House Canaris. Oh gosh. You're an Almatria supporter. Okay. Okay.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
But she's very ruthless in the things that she did. Basically, she was still batshit crazy. But I can already tell with a male-dominated society and a male sovereign-dominated history. That reasoning for her to become the Lord.
Ridiculous.
I can see that.
Okay.
Erwagyo Hydrus.
Ah.
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I see
I
that.
remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganath Haros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary, remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
Like, oh, there was a change? Well, they got nothing to do with me. Must be the Sovereign's will.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you, because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained
Ignored.
anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either.
Major.
They were individuals, just like the rest of us.
I mean, shit. She
So I guess
killed
what
her
I'm trying
father
to say
and her
is,
brother just to get to
You're
Lord
saying that they
status.
weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters.
Critique of the
Even if
U.S.
they did terrible
confirmed.
things,
Nobody
They
started.
were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
not at all.
Being a Danon doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
It just makes me wonder who, in the very beginning, maybe we'll find out around Alphen's story with him being 300 years old, but who in the beginning was like, you know what? I'm a Renan. What are you again? Are you a Danon? You're different from me. That must mean that I'm better than you. I'm just gonna leave it at that before I get on a huge tangent, and I ain't got time for that. We're here for entertainment and fun and storytelling and all that good stuff. So,
What could this be?
Great jail. Tell him the business. Interesting. Well, like I said, at this point, we kind of understand the situation. It's pretty messed up.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem is the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegus?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegus from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
So basically, they was their
A new
own
Renus
slaves.
Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even Victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renan by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
So, in a way, the slavery what's the word? I can't think of the word right now. I'm just gonna say thing. This slavery thing that we've been seeing all throughout this game exists. Of course, I figure it would exist here too, but it's just in a more interesting way. Conditioned to not question the unnatural things that happen. And of course, I assume that they are maybe in their 20s if their ages are just like Danans and like a regular human beings. Okay, yeah, it is multi. Cool. But yeah. It's just very interesting.
Doe?
Oh gosh.
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
Shut your ass.
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Kasara gonna be like, nah.
What the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Kasara looking at her like,
Sure,
beep.
that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Can y'all turn around? Can y'all turn around? Like, can y'all turn around? No, you know, never mind. Well, I'm gonna have to fight her later. Yeah, just turn around. All you gotta do is turn around. You know what? Never mind.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Best we saw in your
Before,
flashback, it
back in
wasn't your
Menancia,
fault though.
You mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Dang.
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Sheesh. No, I'm pretty sure she's not anywhere over here now. Yep, she gone. This red woman ain't nothing but creepypasta. She left kids to fight. I'll just keep that right there. Sheesh. Ellie, this place is big. Wait, is that a shop? Hey, it's an actual shop. Alright. Any more things is about to happen? All communication shot. Y'all don't know what to do. Now, I was laughing at the ones that didn't know where the house was, but now I kind of see, because it's probably been conditioned to the bone to a specific type of way. So any type of change that's different from their conditioning is like it's like leaving a worm in a puddle of water. They wouldn't know what to do. Oh, yeah. Graphics are top notch, brother man. Hey, what's up? This is probably like mid-game to, I don't say mid-game spoilers, but yeah. I'm not gonna say where I'm at, but if you know, it's up to you. You wanna hear and see what the story is at this time. But yeah, these graphics are delicious. Music is fine too. What's gonna happen now?
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnigan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own
He
heart.
said he looks secretly evil.
And even
Don't worry,
then,
he just talks like that.
it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord.
It's actually a change from the suave,
Tarnagan had
colored
fallen
character
for Faria.
of RPGs.
By becoming
of late,
Lord,
you
he
know?
aimed to wrest her from her
Like
humble
Claude
origins
or
and raise her to the highest
a couple other
echelons of
examples I can
society.
think of.
But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance.
He whooped that boy, hey.
But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
Yeah, communication is a problem in
How
this
could I
game.
tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
Yeah, you went crazy and I had to fight your ass.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other Lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people,
Your boo
Dohalim.
thing a snake and I had to clap cuz.
You saved me. It's thanks
That's
to
the
you
best
that
way
I'm
to put
here
it.
today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
It's probably that they have this conversation with the others around, but they are the more serious of the group. I mean, Alphen is too, but...
Do you think he'll be all right?
Oh, dang, never mind.
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Excuse me. You don't see what he been
Sometimes
doing?
just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right.
Hmm. What you doing watching over there, cuz? Where you at?
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say...
This game getting deep in
Thank you.
plot and real life aspects. He says KB PG-13. Yo, the central theme is slavery. So, it's about as real as you can get. Like, seriously, like when you do get this, when you do play, you'll see what I mean. Like, I really love how they actually get to the point in a lot of things.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Red Rebel's new GF. He's gonna help stalk. Probably. Alright, what you got for me? Same stuff. We got some. That's fine. That's a little bit better. Yeah, everybody else already got stronger stuff, so. No, while I'm here, let me go ahead. Just max out on that. Alright. There we go. Oh, I can manage my farm from all the way up here too? Yo. Alright, house.
Did we really just spend that much money?
Unfortunately. But that's okay. We're good. This game got me missing Tales of Grace. Tales of Grace of all of them? Sorry, it's just that's just a beautiful sight. Anyways. Alright. What was that new thing I just got? It was... What was it? What was it? Oh, I think it was the parfait. I think. Magic attack. But shoot, I don't even know when the next time I'm gonna fight right now. A sandwich? Sure.
Looks perfect and tastes just as good.
We got best spirit, so I'm good on that. Zelia battle system, I know it was good, but the second one stuck to me. That's what I've been hearing. I had recently listened to a podcast that was ranking all of the games, and I heard something stupid about Zelia 2. What the heck is a debt system that they had on there? And you had to pay to get to new areas and stuff? Like, who in their mind might have thought that was the right thing to do for a new Tales of game? Like, hey, we see that you like money. We're gonna make you pay money to experience the game. Oh, y'all look like some enemies. Maybe I'll actually get the fight. We're not gonna talk about that. But you see what I mean. That when I've heard about that, I was just like, wow. That makes me appreciate,
soldiers.
you know, Graces and Legendary and stuff like that.
Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Oh, I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menentia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one. Its armor's too strong. Be my guest.
Sheesh.
She didn't mess with me.
Golly.
I'll crush
Here you go. Ooh.
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous!
Whee.
Right up the door! I'm not done! You can use a hand rocket!
Whoop him. Whoop him.
I'll stop your movement.
Ooh.
And I'll stop your rush!
Oh yeah. They got a lot of the staple moves around here. Like the Tiger Blades, your Demon Fangs, your Sword Rains, and all that good stuff. Yeah, that flame sword, blazing sword that is, you're doing work. Yeah, he said, I'll stop your life.
Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade.
Ooh.
I'll take you all off.
What type of Black Force ain't it? Oh, they're real savage in this one. Line back.
Prepare to crumble. Make it rain. Dohalim.
All yours, Kisara.
Hit him with that. Hit him with that blade.
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Nah, they said throw hands.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
Well, with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Oh, and y'all dropped grape jam? And platinum dog tag. See, I'm just let y'all know this is my next spot. I'm finna be farming so I can get that money even higher than before. Yeah, no. Let me stop before I get too hype on this. I'm telling you, bro. Shoot. And it's funny, I haven't been rushing on this, but if you do get it, you know, you got all the time, enjoy all of it, because this game is worth it. Definitely a big, big improvement.
That's far enough.
What the heck? Oh. Can y'all stop moving?
No further.
Thank you. Got him.
Here I come. No escape. Sword Rain Alpha.
Let me go ahead and boom, 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 boom. Ow. Yeah, that one was good.
Good. You're mine. Raising flame. Shockwave flash. Rising phoenix.
Shoot, I might need to set my AI to use grape trails now. Hey, stop that. Got him. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So this is the first time he's seen that without them breaking the frames.
Commander of Heaven.
Ooh.
There's always room for improvement.
Shoot, we got better framework here. Okay, we're actually pretty good. Oh, I do gotta fight one of y'all. Alright, let's do this.
Ow! Take it! Raising ruin! Shockwave flash! Eat this! Watch it!
As if
I'll
the
stop
normal
its
creature
charge.
crawlies
Thanks, Kisara.
Denied.
Here I come! I'm not done! Be still! Take it! Strike!
This is the dang mini boss.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Ooh. Give us like light. Okay. Well, it makes sense because most of the enemies here should be darkness. Or dark attributed at least. Dang. I was glitching for a second.
I'll crush you!
Again?
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon shell! Here I
Dang, you're not even half yet. Go ahead and do it. Appreciate that. Yeah, Lee. Yeah, Lee.
Pierce evil! A new leaf on life!
Ow. Thank you. Ow. Oh gosh.
Can't lose.
You're mine! Shockwave flash!
Here's a healing arc!
I'll find you here and now! Point flash! Soaring light spear!
Here I go!
Falcon!
Eat this! Light up the door!
I'll burn it all!
Here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah, there go the frame drop. There go the frame drop.
Fire!
Here, let me help.
Dang, this sucker's still going.
You picked the wrong fight!
Yeah, he said, let me go ahead and hop off of this. It was getting too lit.
Rising Falcon!
Here, let me help.
Shockwave flash!
Let me out of.
Pretty much. Stop all that.
Raining slash!
I'll take you all on.
Bonk.
Look sharp.
Here I come!
Guardian field.
Now I'm real mad.
I got you.
Vacuum blade!
Guardian field.
Ride me! Good! Be less free!
Dead.
I'll crush you!
Ooh.
Lightning
Ooh.
reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
It ain't it yet.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Sheesh. Let's try not to fight more of those. You gotta fight them once for the character data or for the enemy data, and that's about it. Alright. I do still like the vacuum blade. I think I'll go back to Dragon Swarm. That's always been my move. I do want to keep. Okay, destruction leads into that. Okay. Because I do like Rending Flash. Oh, you know what? Let me check, Oh, yes! Finally, I can use that! Okay. Shoot, it gives me even more flaming bursts. Eesh. Okay. Then... Well, So finish that up while you at it. But okay, cool. Right. Okay, so now I have incineration wave. Can't wait to see that. I do want to keep that. I'll keep that there. Actually, you know what? I'll put Rena slash here, and I'll just go my usual demon thing. Hey, what up, though?
Let's dispose of the trash.
Bring him down! Eat them! That's it! Ready to go! Annihilation! I can carve through armor! No shield can stand up to these fists!
Uh-oh. Yo.
Now I'm real mad! I'll trip it up! Not done super swallow!
Appreciate that.
I'll crush you!
Smack him. Smack him.
Reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
They probably do their mystic arts more than anybody.
Astral energy! Full throttle!
Super splash.
No escape! No further!
You stop on the move.
Dragon form! This one's mine! Now I'm in the groove! Commander of Heaven!
Yeah, at least.
Phoenix Cyclone!
It was a close thing.
Oh, dang. Y'all got build different dudes, too? Can we not? Nice, nice. Oh, I'm dead. I should bring me back.
You shouldn't have messed with me.
Here I come!
Astral Art?
Got him.
Shut him down! I'll crush you!
How many times must you crush them?
Reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Nah, back. Ooh.
A hard-won victory.
Alright. Okay. Got a little treasure over here. A shortcake recipe. I gotta figure out what type of cake I want for my birthday. I don't even want to eat cake. Ooh, pineapple.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
Can I just move past you? No. Okay. Can I just run?
An opponent like this should be easy.
Here, let me help. Fall back! I'll hold them off. I think I'll...
And that's how you make an enemy disappear. Yeesh, a lot of Zugals. Y'all okay? Y'all seem to just be chilling here. Ooh, generating crystal. We need those. But you know what? Oops, we do that. You seem to be quite useful in this type of situation, so I might need to put you in instead. Because we have a lot of fast enemies that we're dealing with. They'll all you stay in, and yeah, you can stay in. And again, well, you need to go over here. You're not keeping right there. Okay, cool. Just in case anything happens, which I doubt, because I'm pretty good at this. Alright. And they all decide to attack.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Not today! Here I come! Now I'm not done! Double demon fang!
Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
Dragon form! You're mine! Strike! Dragon form! Explosive ray!
I find it.
No further!
I said, knock them all down, please.
Here I come! Dragon!
This one's mine.
There we go.
Commander of Heaven!
Get them all. Get them all.
Now! Here I come! It's time! Rising! Try this!
Ow.
This isn't looking good!
This ain't looking good at all.
This should do it! No escape! Be still! No escape!
Shouldn't have messed with me.
Alright, here you go again.
Take this!
Ow.
Eat dirt! Penumbra! Eating pile driver! Dragon form! Try this! Explosive ring! Take this!
Do work. Do work. Do work.
Look sharp!
Lightning
Benediction.
My turn! Take this!
Use too much.
You use too much, then here you go.
Super swallow dance! Try harder!
Nah, son.
I have no limits! Take this! Can't get out of this!
Nah, son.
Dragon form! There! Eat this! I'm trouble!
If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Burn! Heal! Blow away! I'll burn it all!
Ooh. Slice boot.
Flaming pillar! Fire! My turn!
Guardian Field!
All yours, Kisara.
Hit him with that. Got him.
I can feel my power growing!
Golly, every battle's now freaking what do you call it? A battle chain now. Yeah. Just gonna run past y'all. Let's fight everything at once.
Retreat if
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
know what's good for you. Is it too late to talk over our differences?
I think it's way too late.
Now you see what I can do.
There we go.
You picked the wrong fight.
You picked the wrong house, fool.
Can't get out of this. Take this.
Golly.
Try harder. You're mine. Eat dirt. Dragon form. Take this. I'm not done. Vacuum blade.
This is just straight chaos.
No escape. Down. You're on. Dragon form. Lost in time.
Come on now. Alright. Please, hit them all. Hit all of them. There we go. Make a break, baby.
Go for it! Prepare to crumble! My turn! I'm on it!
Yo, this is a real battle.
Bring you down!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Down on the ground! Destruction! Soaring
Frozen?
Uh-oh, big bonk.
Vacuum blade!
Inferno clapping!
Another incantation.
Can you stop all that?
Not today! Dragon Force! Being interrupted. Let us in an instant! Impact block!
Oh,
No kiss! Here and now! Here I come!
Inferno crossing! Look sharp! In a bind! I'm on a roll!
Dragon form!
Going in!
Double demon fight!
I'm ready!
Astral
Uh-oh.
energy!
Say no more!
say less.
In an instant! Impact block!
Woo!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
Golly. I'm surprised I was even. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear nothing. So much going on. I'm like, yo. 21,000. Not bad, not bad. Do we have a heal here? No? Shoot, you saved it. Alright, what's gonna happen? Shoot, I might need to go back.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Well, see what you can do. Love how he can use it at will now.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
What's gonna happen?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
You know what?
Here's what we'll do.
That's a good observation.
We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
Did they all see this? Texas is done. What's the difference?
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alvin was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alvin was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
When the next season?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think
I
so.
doubt she can do all that.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad.
Gene,
I'd like to
real
liberate
strong.
them too, if I can.
She was probably put to
It's
sleep
just
too.
another reason I can't afford to shield
All
my
we know,
eyes
she
from
could be
the
the same
truth.
exact person.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else,
But no, she had to
you
grow
always
up too,
stay the
so.
same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Yeesh. Alright, let's see what happens. Can I even go back? Oh, it'll actually let me go back to Dana if I want to. Oh, dang. That's good to know. Okay, cool. I can actually go back to that too. Ah, crap. It's gonna be another fight. Because we got the heal thing right here. Then again, I just really just found me a good what call it, farming spot. I don't want to lose that right now. So I think I'm gonna cut it out right here. Cut it out just a little bit early. The next time we will see what this forbidden zone will be hiding. You thought who wrote these lines? It wasn't you. Anyways, this has been Tyre Games. I do appreciate y'all for coming out. I will catch y'all on the next stream. It's getting juicy. I can't wait. Till then, peace.